What's up, party people, and welcome back to my channel. So today we are talking about 5 common beauty mistakes that you could be making that you need to avoid. These are things that people themselves have actually told me that they do, and I'm just like, and a lot of these could be things that you've done all of your life. You don't know it any other way. They could be things that you're doing that you're not even aware of. You just do them subconsciously. Or they may be things that you've read about on magazine articles online or you've heard about in a YouTube video. But nonetheless, you shouldn't be doing them. So before we get started, make sure you give this video a big ol' thumbs up to let me know that you want to see more like it and that you enjoy it. Even though you haven't actually watched it yet, I know you're gonna enjoy it. And then go ahead and subscribe to my channel and join my community, but also turn your notification bell on because apparently being subscribed isn't enough anymore. YouTube isn't notifying all subscribers of all new videos, so you have to have your bell turned on, so go ahead and do that. And without further ado, here are 5 beauty mistakes that you could be making. So mistake number 1 that you could be making is not only over plucking your brows, but over cutting them with the little scissors. And the reason that this made it to my list in the first place is number 1, because I've had so many brow clients that have come to me with brows that are sticking straight up. Like you can clearly tell that they cut them. They look very blunt, they look very narrow. And also personal experience. Like this is something that I learned more recently through trial and error. So what we've always been shown is to take a lash comb and comb it through your brows and cut whatever is sticking through the comb of it. Or also, I'm sure you've seen where people have just kind of brushed their brow hairs up and then take off all of that like right on top of the line of your brow, if that makes any sense. Like, see all that hair right there sticking up? People would say to cut that. But the thing with that is our hairs don't grow straight up. They grow at an angle. They lay down. What it does is it makes your brow hairs look very blunt and very choppy, and they don't lay down, and they just don't look very natural. And it also makes your brows look very narrow and very, very thin. And I feel like the end goal for all of us is to have really pretty, full, thick brows. So what I recommend doing is cutting them at an angle and kind of over directing the hair a little bit. So over directing basically means that you're leaving room for a little extra length. So instead of combing them straight up and cutting whatever you see, comb them at an angle like this, kind of like upwards towards your arch. There's nothing really sticking up because I just did my brows last night. And that way you're over directing it to where it's kind of leaving room like for forgiveness. It's allowing room for them to actually lay down. I recommend cutting a couple of hairs at a time and then brushing them back down to see how they're laying so you can get a better visual of how you're looking, like how you're looking middle of the way. And something else that I see people doing, and this is something that, again, I've done it literally up until about a month or so ago, but you cut off too much of your tail. And again, your tail, you need to allow room for the hairs to lay down. They may be a little bit longer, but that's a good thing because if they're too short, they're gonna stick straight up in the air, and that's just not very flattering. So mistake number 2 has to do with the skincare product that, in my opinion, is one of the worst creations in our beauty industry, and that is exfoliating cleansers. I'm sure a lot of your hearts just sank. Our industry is making us lazier, number 1. They keep coming out with these like 2-in-1 products, 3-in-1s, 10-in-1s. And with cleansers already, like our industry promotes us to cleanse twice a day. So because most people only have and only use like one cleanser, you're using that same exfoliating cleanser morning and night, which is wreaking so much havoc on your skin and causing, if it hasn't caused problems for the time being, it's going to cause so many problems down the road. It's going to damage your skin barrier so bad. Our skin barrier is that top layer of skin that protects us from air pollution, so sun, smoke, gas, everything out in the air, everything that's bad for us, but it keeps all the good bacteria in and the bad bacteria out. So when you damage your skin barrier, the bad bacteria is able to get in. And you're gonna have issues like acne, dehydration, redness, sensitivities, irritation, dullness, roughness, texture, literally all the bad things can be caused from a damaged skin barrier. I usually tell my clients to exfoliate, like if you don't already have a schedule and you're not already exfoliating, to do it like Monday and Friday or Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Like get on a routine so that it becomes a routine in your head and you stick to it. So if you want to use that exfoliating cleanser on those days when you're supposed to exfoliate, that's one thing. But to use it every single day is so bad for your skin. You're stripping your skin from what it actually needs. So mistake number 3 has to do with our hair and getting it to grow. One of the most common things I see everywhere, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, everywhere, is people asking for recommendations on how to get their hair to grow faster, but they'll always say, but I don't want to cut it. If you don't trim your hair is not going to grow fast. I think people get confused by this because they think, well, my hair doesn't grow from the ends, it grows from the roots. So how does cutting the ends affect the growth of the roots? And it technically doesn't, but it does affect how healthy your hair is on the ends, because we all have split ends. So when you don't trim those off, that split end is going to keep riding up the strand. So what you're going to see is that your ends are going to be like see-through. They're going to be like, you could read a newspaper through them. And your hair may get long, like when you measure it and say, oh, it's down here, it may be long in certain places, but it's not going to be an even kind of length, if that makes any sense. You know, I feel like when you say trim, people think, oh my God, you're taking off length. No, just cutting off the dead ends will help your hair look so much more healthy and help it to look better when it actually does grow out. Mistake number 4 has to do with SPF in your makeup. So this is kind of a skincare and a makeup related mistake, but I always hear people asking for recommendations for like foundations or face products that have SPF in them. And SPF in makeup is one of the biggest gimmicks in our industry, and that's because we don't apply enough of that, whether it be a foundation or a BB cream or a tinted moisturizer. We don't apply enough of it to get the number that you see on the tube or the bottle. So you always need to rely on the SPF that you're wearing underneath your makeup and not the makeup itself. I believe the number, and I always forget, but I believe it's like 1 teaspoon of product is what will give you that number that you see on the bottle. So say you have an SPF 15 foundation. You have to apply a full teaspoon of that foundation to your face and neck to get the amount of protection that you see on the bottle. The IT Cosmetics CC cream with SPF 50 is such a gimmick. Like, it sounds good and it makes people want to buy it because, ooh, it's got broad spectrum SPF 50. I'm protected. No, you do not need to rely on that. Now, if you wear an SPF 50 underneath your foundation, underneath that CC cream that's got SPF 50, you're going to be more likely to get the full SPF 50 from both of those products. It doesn't add up. It doesn't stack. You're probably just going to get SPF 50, because even when you're applying a moisturizer or your sunscreen underneath your foundation or makeup or whatever, you're probably not even applying enough of that. So whenever you layer products on top of it that do have SPF, you're getting closer to that number. So I always tell people to shoot for SPF 30 or more. Anything less than SPF 30 really is unnecessary. So mistake number 5 is another skincare mistake, and I feel like skincare is probably one of the most complicated and one of the most difficult things, so that's why there's so many mistakes in this video. But that is that you're using too many acne products on a daily basis, and that you shouldn't be using them on a daily basis. So I feel like a very common misconception that people with acne have is that if you have acne, you need to be using acne products every single day. So you have to use an acne cleanser every day, an acne exfoliator, acne target treatments, acne face mask, acne toners, acne galore. And the problem with using acne products every single day is that it's making your skin worse. It's drying your skin out, which when you dry your skin out, you're gonna produce more oil, and sometimes when you produce more oil, you get acne. And say you don't even have horrible acne, like you just have a few bumps here and there. Most people don't have acne on every square inch of their face. So you're treating your entire face as if it's got acne, when really it's only a few different zones and areas on your face that you're trying to target. So I recommend doing spot treatments and just doing it when needed. I always tell people to treat your skin and your skincare regimen as if you don't have acne. So just focus on a good, gentle skincare regimen, something that would be good for all skin types, like something that even a person that doesn't have acne would benefit from, and focus on hydration and nutrition and nourishment. So that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it and learned something from it. And if you want to see more like it, you know what to do. Give it a big old thumbs up, and I'll see you in my next one. Mwah.